my thoughts on rape and suicide. So I'm gonna try to let you guys know that when you deal with this shit on a day-to-day basis, just know that it's a joke, and just know that literally rape and suicide are serious subjects, but we slander them in society, and we can't literally take this shit seriously at the time it is. So here is what I feel about when people, especially girls that play hard to get, say sexual harassment. When she says sexual harassment, that means her ass meant to do that. Ain't no playing games. You know you like that shit. You know you like to be treated like shit because you know you ain't shit. It's what literally what happens to bitches, what happens to stanky women, what happens to women with no value is that literally they force men to rape them. Because the good guys they throw away, and then the bad guys they get obsessed with, and they literally get obsessed with the wrong bad guy, not the smart bad guy. They get literally stuck with the worst bad guy that has no money, that has this and that literally has no potential, but she's stuck with him because she treats herself like shit. And the bad boys fulfill her request. So literally, remember, when she says harassment, her ass meant to do that. And you have to understand that it's no joke. You have to understand that women don't want to be held accountable for the actions. Women want to be treated like shit. I'm talking about bad women, not all women, but the woman that you fantasize about wants to be treated like shit. This is why nerds don't get no pay. This is why nerds don't understand why women love bad men so much. You don't understand. They live through fake shit the whole life, and what they're doing is real. It's real compared to you being in the fantasy, thinking that you don't have to take charge of the situation. What you have to do is you have to verbally, I repeat, verbally take charge of the situation, and literally, if she teases you, you say, hold up, you said this and that. Ain't no going back. You have to literally call her out when she teases you. And that's why some men resort to rape. I don't think rape is good at all. I feel like rape is literally the basis of how a lot of relationships are started, because a lot of people think there's only physical rape. No, there's mental rape. There's this thing where if you're in a higher position of power in society or you have more connections, the girl cannot say no. Like, say if I'm famous, right, and I ask this girl out and she's not in a position to say no, that's rape. If you are in a better position, if you literally have more clout than her, if you literally know the deal and know how crazy this shit is, and she literally isn't in a position to say no, or say if it's not forced, but say if she knows she's going to be made fun of if she doesn't go out with you, that is still rape. When you control the situation to a point where they have no way out, that's still rape. Even if it's not physical, if you've been put in a situation that literally there's no other perspective but to say yes, then it's rape. I've been put in that position many, many times all throughout high school. They keep on telling me, oh, be appreciative for what you had. Well, I know the grass is greener on the other side. That's rape. When you literally force somebody to think some way, oh, everybody is improving but you have no tools, but you don't know that you have no tools because they're keeping the tools away from you, it's rape. When you destroy somebody's perspective, when there's no options, it's rape. You have to understand that. When you horrify somebody, when you give somebody no option, it's rape. That's literally physical, mental, no way out, that's rape. It could be with perspective, it could be physical, but literally, you have to understand that controlling a situation to a point where somebody can only view things one way, and when somebody's forced to submit, is rape. Even if the guy's right, even if literally he does everything right, and you're in charge, it's rape. And it becomes traumatic for the person. It becomes a big emotional weight because you don't understand the fact that you were wrong in every way, shape, or form, but you manipulate the situation, you manipulate his environment, you manipulate everything to make him feel a certain way. That's rape. And onto suicide, I consider suicide the biggest joke. Now, I'm one that used to be very suicidal in the past. I was suicidal in front of my mother. I was suicidal in front of a lot of people. I know a lot of people who become suicidal literally just so people will feel sorry for them. And that is what I despise, because I was suicidal for the right reason, because I was being mentally raped all throughout grade school by literally watching everybody else improve, but knowing that people are white and knowing that they're women and knowing that they have it better in society, and everybody's pointing the finger, stop being a little kid and start grinding, when in actuality you have it 10 times easier, but I'm forced because I'm the only one who's losing in life, and that's rape. You have to understand that when it comes to being suicidal, I've dealt with the pain, I've dealt with this and that. There is such a thing as a life not worth living. I don't care if you're suicidal. If you're not doing anything about it, then you literally should just die. I was doing something about it. I was stepping my game up in high school. I didn't know what to do. So guess what happened? When I stopped being suicidal, when I dealt with the toxic masculinity, when I listened to constructive criticism, everybody else became suicidal. And I do not feel sorry for them. I will not feel sorry for the fact that you faked it throughout your entire life in high school, making me think that you were not a virgin when you're the biggest virgin of all time. Once I realized that they've been living life a lie, and once I realized that they become suicidal at even older ages, it's really just my reckoning. Now, I don't consider suicide a joke as a whole, because I know people who used to go on online forums that literally used to get trolled, used to get bullied, used to have this and that, and suicide is no laughing matter, but it becomes a laughing matter when you know you're wrong and you know you literally put somebody through hell and you are suffering karma, and you try to deny that you have karma and you blame the other person for not accepting responsibility when you're the one who manipulated the situation, when you have to admit you're wrong and you still don't admit you're wrong. Whenever I was suicidal in front of my mom, in front of everything, I still felt guilt, but I was living one-dimensionally to a point where I was forced to do the same thing over and over again. Not just due to muscle memory, but because literally that's humanly impossible for you not to feel suicidal every single day. I'm not putting people in the same position. There's no fucking perspective. You're wrong every way, shape, and form. It's like, oh, Eris just plays video games today. Oh, Eris is just this and that. And literally, what happens is when I pull a girl on the streets, they become suicidal. They start stabbing themselves, this and that. It's like, oh, it's your fault for talking shit and not backing it up with your actions. What their mom tells them every single time they're suicidal. I'm like, I used to be in your position. Grow the fuck up. You grow the fuck up. You're the one who just plays video games. Okay, well, you're the one who's literally trying to manipulate my environment. You're in charge, or you shouldn't be, and you know it. You're in charge of shit that doesn't matter, literally. I know a whole bunch of ex-gangsters that literally get broke-in jobs, literally construction jobs, and they're telling me to step my game up when you have a deadbeat job. While they're being suicidal, while they're doing this and that, while they're having concussions, literally. And I laugh. Do you know why I laugh at them? There was this guy when I was at Home Depot that cut all of his fingers off when he tried to talk shit saying that I didn't have a baby mama. And then he saw her and he's all like, oh my god, Eris actually isn't a virgin. And he cut every single one of his fingers off. And you know what I did? I looked at him and I'm like, okay. I ignored this shit, and literally, it was like it never happened. I'm sorry, nerds, but the grass is greener on the other side of the field. You think I'm gonna feel sorry for you when I have that big ass to come home to? I get to fuck that, and you don't. But Eris, you're horrible. What you did to me in high school was horrible. Maybe if I didn't have a foundation of good, maybe if I wasn't a good person my whole entire life, and you literally treated me like shit throughout my entire life, and literally receive karma and then try to act like I'm the bad guy. I got rewarded and you did because I was nice and you weren't. I'm not gonna feel sorry for you. I'm not gonna be thinking about you for a second when I'm clapping that ass. I'm sorry. I feel no remorse for people who know they're wrong. And that was the best part, is that I was being a good person when I was suicidal, and then I realized, you know what? You have to fight back in life. You have to literally kick life's ass. I was put in a position where literally there's no perspective, where they know they're wrong, when they know I have the skills to get a job, but every single job due to MGTOW will send me up for sexual harassment. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just not participate in this stupid ass fuckery. And they literally got the message. They're trying to say, no, this bullshit situation. I'm like, nope. Your actions are too repetitive for me to believe you. And then they become suicidal because they go to their jobs and they can't pull any other woman that I could pull out the jobs. But it's all like, that is why you always try to set me up. So, I don't feel sorry for you. You're fucking evil. This is what you deserve. If you're fucking weak, if you're doing suicide as an attempt for people to feel sorry for you, you might as well just die. That's how I view life. I view it because when I was suicidal is when I still cared for the other person. I just wanted them to finally tell me the truth, and she wasn't telling me the truth, and nobody was telling me the fucking truth about how to get girls and how to get better. I had to figure it out on my own. You guys have all the helping more. You guys actually have a functional family, and you still are suicidal. Why? Because you lie to yourself 24/7. So there was this one guy who I got famous with. We did something at a public place, and we got tons and tons of clout from it. So I talked to this guy, and literally, me and him literally were the best of friends. And so literally, so I could tell that he was in the anime and that he had a mental condition, and I didn't care. I've been there, done that. So here's what happened. So literally, this guy literally on his Instagram shit was all like, I want to commit suicide. And so I talked to him. I'm like, is it because of your toxic boss? He's like, no, it's my toxic mom. So you know what I did with him? I did sugarcoat anything. I'm like, fuck that. Don't be a bitch. You think I felt sorry for him? No, I gave him exactly what the fuck he needed to hear. I didn't sugarcoat anything. I didn't let him think this. I didn't let him think that. I gave him straight up what the fuck you have to be. I'm like, you have to be stronger than her. I'm only saying that because I care. That is how you deal with people. That is how you deal with life. I do not feel sorry for you at all. And what happened was this. It all bred out when I met this guy at the event again. Literally, what happened was this is literally, I tried talking to him like a normal person, and literally he ignored everything I said, and he went to the other guy. He's like, something, choke me. I'm like, okay, well, that's a good way to earn respect. That's a good way to stop being suicidal. Asking your friend that's going to save you from yourself to choke you, alright. I get it. So the biggest lesson in this is actually take life seriously. I've actually still had thoughts of being suicidal when everything was going my way, because literally the stupidest people are in charge where they shouldn't be. Literally, suicidal is something you can't escape in life. I was having thoughts of suicide if I didn't have a lot to fall back on. Literally, everything I worked hard for was being defeated, because it doesn't matter if I work hard for my career. It doesn't matter if I beat you in every way, shape, or form. If you're in charge on paper, you get to do whatever you want, but that's why you hurt inside. You're mad because I'm not hurt inside. I have the full perspective. I know what the fuck you're going through. You're a chronic ranker, but you're a boss on paper. I literally felt so fucking bad because I couldn't get a single job because I didn't feel like dealing with bullshit. And literally, nobody else is dealing with bullshit. That's why MGTOW took over. That's why COVID-19 took over. That's why literally we have a solid excuse to why we're not going to be set up for sexual harassment. Remember, her ass meant to do that, which is why I don't join any job today, which is why I became a boss. This is why I get my own shit. And this is why you guys are fucking idiots. I don't feel sorry for anybody who literally doesn't even give themselves a chance to win. I gave myself the chance to win over and over again, but you know what? They kept on abusing the fact that they were in charge. And so what happened was this, is like, I felt like I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to defeat the purpose of everything I fucking do. It's one thing if you hack my video game while I'm playing and I know that you're being a piece of shit and that's why I get to laugh at you. It's another thing when you take my rights away as a human being, which is what was happening. But things were clearing up, so I got over that. But literally, suicidal isn't anything that you can escape from. And I had thoughts of literally being suicidal last year because of legitimately the position I was in. Even though I proved them wrong in every way, shape, or form, they kept on spamming what they're doing to everyone and trying to say that I'm not special. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm like everybody else that stays out the way. This is COVID, this is MGTOW, and I want you to shut the fuck up. Remember, if you're not even fighting back and you're just being suicidal and you're not even trying to improve your game, if you're not trying to step your game up, which is what you're killing yourself for, don't literally give me that excuse that it's not about bitches when it is. And if you're crying rape when you play guy after guy after guy, when you manipulate human nature and you expect it not to backfire on you, I don't feel sorry for you. And that's why I say, harassment, her ass meant to do that. Just remember, you have to fight what the fuck is going on with your life. Don't be a bitch, literally. Don't literally just give up and literally just cry and think that everything's gonna be better. You may have friends that are fake, that will validate you saying, it's okay, buddy. It's not like you're that loser on the internet that always plays video games but pulls tons of bitches. You need to see through that shit. You need to stop accepting the fake that people are supporting. You need to literally know that you're wrong, admit you're wrong, and that's one step further in the direction. When I was a virgin, I was suicidal in front of my mom. I did everything to step my game up, but I wasn't being told that I was outmatched by vanity. If you don't know what vanity is, go look it up online. And if you literally, I don't think rape is a good idea. I don't think rape is stupid, but I do agree that some people literally do give women what they ask for, but that doesn't make it right. I'm just saying, some women are evil out there, some women do deserve karma, but there's another way of dealing with that. You can let them play themselves. Instead of actually physically harming women, what you have to do is you wait till literally she becomes submissive, and then when she tries to play you, you be like, you said this. So that's my thoughts on rape and suicide.